I need you to unmute right here.
Need the line.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go test. So it is creating an echo. So now I have to figure out how to. I should be able to do this. Cool. That works. Okay. Figured it out. Hey, Patty. Hi. Okay, so our stream is going to start going out live at 10:55. Now, when Mayor gets up there to introduce you, we're going to have you visually up in front of the rest of the congregation and on the stream. But you cannot speak at the same time as Mayor, so you guys can't have any back and forth. So once she gets off the stage, you can go ahead and speak. But if there's back and forth, it'll cause an echo through our system.
Okay.
Okay, so once she gets off, then you're good to start. And then when you're finished, she'll get back up there.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And if you have any questions, go ahead and you can send them in the chat to me. All these computers in here are me, so I'll be able to read them.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Hey, Reverend Patty, I just wanted to let you know that because we're going out, you're muted until it is time for you to speak. I have you muted now, but it'll give you a pop-up that asks you to unmute when it's time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely music. Thank you. 2, 1. And welcome, Unity of Richmond. It's wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see all the people online that I know that will be taking note of as for comments and whatnot. And welcome to our wonderful musicians again. Thank you for bringing us in with the music. And let's see, do we have any new people here today? I see a new person. So let's welcome our new person and have a welcome packet. We're so glad that you could join us today. And if you'd like, there's a card that you can fill out there so that we can be in touch with you further. And I would invite everyone here to join in and say our diversity statement. Unity of Richmond is a safe and welcoming spiritual home that stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion for all people, including but not limited to color, age, ability, gender expression, culture, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, and belief. And so it is. And bless you back there in the back. So our daily word for today, let's see here. That says protection. And up here I see faith. Today is February 25th, correct? Okay. So I carry my faith in God with me throughout the day. I keep my faith at the forefront of my awareness, taking a few minutes in the morning to pause, breathe deeply, and place my awareness on the presence of God. I feel energized and strengthened. I expect all good things. As the day progresses, I pause again for a moment or two and affirm, God and I are one. I have faith that God, my source, is with me in everything I think, say, and do. At night, I look back on the events of the day and savor the moments in which God's presence felt especially strong. I have faith that awakening from a restful night's sleep, hearing a kind remark, enjoying time in nature, or spending quality time with a loved one are ways to feel the presence of God within and around me. And they shall stand every morning thanking and praising the Lord, and likewise at evening. 1 Chronicles 23:30. And I will say this once, and I invite us to affirm it together twice. I carry my faith in God with me throughout the day. And together, I carry my faith in God with me throughout the day. I carry my faith in God with me throughout the day.
Please stand and join us as we declare your song, I Am That I Am. I am that I am. To this now moment. Here I am. I am that I am. To this our moment, here I am to be the one, to be the one through which it's made known on earth. To be the one, and to be the one through which it's made known on earth. I am that I am. To this our moment, here I am. I am that I am. To this our moment, here I am. To be the one, listen to be the one. It's made known on earth. To be the one, and to be the one. It's made known on earth. I am that I am. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, music team. And thank you, Heather. All right, so I invite you to sit back, allow yourself to completely be supported by the chair. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And as you do the next breath in and out, go to that sacred space where your heart and your mind meets yourself with a capital S. Breathing in and out. As we gather here today in sacred unity, I am thankful for the presence of everyone here, of everyone online, and for all the people whose lives we will touch because of receiving the holy messages that we will receive today. Consider the vision on the outside. If you looked around this sanctuary, what you would see. Consider the vision you would have on the inside if you looked around at your thoughts as they go one by one past, maybe even several at a time. And I invite you to experience love. I invite you to attune to the frequency of love, the vibration of love, right now, right here, in this moment. I am that I am. And as you align with that vision, I invite you throughout the rest of the day, whether you see your inner thoughts or you see with your external eyes, to see from the self, to see from love, to see from I am that I am, and give and receive love in peace. And for that, I am grateful. And so it is. And amen. So I invite you to take another breath in and out. And together, let us say the Metro Prayer. We pray for the coming of God's realm in metropolitan Richmond, for the enhancement of our common life through the Holy Spirit, and for the resurrection of metropolitan Richmond as a modern metropolitan city of hope for the world. And so it is. Let's see what opportunities await us. Oh, someone forgot to put on their prayer chaplain ribbon today, which is me. So there is a prayer chaplain Q&A after the service today. If anybody would like to come up and pray with me. Who is my other prayer chaplain today for the service? Anyone? Okay. Oh, Stephen's waving his hand and back. We've got Carol. We've got Santa. You've got me. So if you have a request for prayer after the service, will be available. And there will be a Q&A after the service. I'm a little bit ad-libbing here. I'm supposed to be checking us out here. Tasha was nice enough to write up some stuff. So if you are considering joining for our prayer chaplain training, which will be in April, this is an awesome way to find out a little bit more about it, if you are called to do so. And I invite you to at least consider it, because it is a blessed service, and you receive as much as you give. So to our next slide. Next up, in 2 days, so Tuesday at 7 p.m., you can join Unity of Richmond at a risk rally. Barbara Smith would be able to tell you a little bit more about that. Raise your hand, Ms. Smith. Mrs. Smith. Yes, thank you, thank you. Would you like to come up and say anything more, or you want me to? You got it? Okay, come on up. So, I don't see Edie here at the moment, because Edie would also be able to help us. I will be there, and I invite you to join me. I know Barbara will be there, and I invite you to join her. This RISK stands for Richmonders Involved to Strengthen Our Communities. And here is our beloved Barbara Smith.
I just want to say thank you for all of you that have signed up. We're now 28 and counting. Just want to remind you that it is at 7 p.m. at Second Baptist Church on Broad Rock Road. If you see me after church, I can give you the address to put in your GPS. We're looking forward to seeing you. We're going to get an update as to where we stand on our 3 projects: affordable housing, healthy homes, and gun violence intervention. So sign up. We need all the people we can get. What does people mean? Votes. And that's what politicians, they want to see people, because we are votes, and we can change things with our votes.
Yes, that's right. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so, oh, this is exciting. I love the potato bar that we have here. Okay, so just a reminder, our annual meeting is coming up. You don't have to be worrying about lunch. If you've seen the newsletter, you will have gotten an announcement about that. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, go ahead and email transfer @unityrichmond.org to get a copy of it. And you can zoom in, but you might miss the potatoes, and you can come in person. Our youth will be providing the lunch. There is a $5 to $10 love offering, although I wouldn't cap it at 10. I imagine they would take any money you would want to give them. And that is going to be on my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Jenny, on March 3rd. All right, so let's see. Okay, we also have a couple of updates for Marines Yoga offering. We want to let you know that everyone is welcome. The classes are beginner friendly, and you can drop in while attending, one or all of them. It's a treat. If that's not possible for you to do the individual class work as standalone, right? So you can join at any of them that you can. You can sign up by emailing Maureen at 23060@gmail.com. And that starts the day after my sister's birthday, March 4th. Okay, so our next announcement, let's see here. turning the page. Here we go. So we're very excited to announce our guest speaker, Sarada Churuvalu. And she will be joining us on March 24th for a talk and a workshop. Her main focus is the practice of meditation and self-realization on the path to enlightenment. To get the full experience, you can pick up her book, Home at Last, from our bookstore, and that's going to be available for $16. And I believe that might be our last announcement for this Sunday. So what do we have next coming up? I am now going to encourage our soloist to jam us out.
Thank you. Speaking of birthdays, today my daughter is 3. So happy birthday, Juniper. All right, I know. All right. I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth. Such conviction in who he was, he would not be moved. Someone stepped out of the crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him. Then King took out his handkerchief and wiped the hate from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up while you do what you can do. I see your heart and I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you." I once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was you all this time that held my spirit down. But now I know the truth of who I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you play in this dance we had to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I will lift you up while I do what I can do. I see your heart and I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you need to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. I will lift you up while I do what I can do. I feel your heart and I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what what you have to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I am clear as we're standing here. I believe this belongs to you.
That must be one of my favorite songs. Thank you so much. All right, so I would like to introduce our speaker today, Reverend Pattie Bittner. She was born in Orlando, Florida, raised Catholic, and spent time as a Methodist and Episcopalian during college. There she is, that beloved Pattie. It's weird seeing myself up there on the screen, though. She majored in elementary ed and did youth ministry throughout college. After ministerial training, Reverend Pattie became a minister in the Presbyterian Church. She served mostly rural churches for 30 years, and then 10 years ago, while she was recovering from a divorce after a 27-year marriage, she attended a service at Unity of Bon Air. And of course, she decided that Unity was her tribe. In 2017, she graduated from Unity Urban Ministerial School and became ordained as a Unity minister. In 2018, she was called to be the senior minister of Unity of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Then in 2021, she returned to Richmond, and she is now the senior minister of Unity of Bon Air. So Pattie's here with us today, and Reverend Valerie is at Unity of Bon Air. They did a little switch for us. So Pattie loves people, and people love her back, given that she exudes creativity and unconditional love. Please join me in warmly welcoming my friend and this beloved minister, our guest minister today, Reverend Pattie.
Thank you all. It's so wonderful to be with you, though I wish I could be in person, but believe me, you do not want what I have right now. I've been in bed for multiple days, so I always like to start with a joke, and I've been telling jokes about love all this month. So this is a story of a little girl coming home, a first grader, and telling her mom, well, you know, that Billy Wilcox kissed me after school today. And the mother goes, well, how did that happen? And she goes, well, it was hard work. 5 of my friends had to chase him down. So we have lots of ways of thinking about love. And the song Heather sang, I can hardly have composure after hearing that. That song touches me so deeply. And what I want to talk about today is some of our Black history and the power that has to call us to be all that we can be and continue to carry the vision. So my talk is called Carry the Vision. So I have 2 quotes on the first slide. The first is from Gandhi. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And the second one from King, the only normalcy that we will settle for is the normalcy of brotherhood, the normalcy of true peace, and the normalcy of justice. And indeed, that's the vision of unity as well. So slide 2 is the graphic for the 64-day campaign co-founded in 1998 by Dr. Arun Gandhi and the Association for Global New Thought. And this campaign is to focus educational and media attention on the philosophy of attaining peace through nonviolent action. And we've seen that demonstrated so beautifully by Gandhi, by King, by Cesar Chavez, by Nelson Mandela, as well as the Dalai Lama. It is more than a political technique. It can be a way of life for every person who chooses to promote peace. Now we have some words from the Dalai Lama. I consider nonviolence to be compassion in action. It doesn't mean weakness, cowering in fear, or simply doing nothing. It is to act without violence, motivated by compassion, recognizing the rights of others. And the next slide. So our deepest truth, we are one. Well, what does that mean to you, the word oneness? We are all an expression of divine mind. One thing it means to me is when one person, family, or group of people are being treated with less than dignity, we are all suffering because we are all connected. It means when women understand that they matter, that they deserve equal pay for equal worth, the men will win as well. Life is not a competition, but a realm for cooperation. And when we get this in our hearts, it takes down a lot of anxiety. It's clear that as a society, we are not awake. We see light in many individuals. And we continue to see gun violence, school shootings, suicides, because kids can't take bullying any longer. We see racism expressed against Jewish people, African Americans, immigrants, those living as LGBTQ. We have a ways to go for this oneness thing to take hold. But King's action in that song, I think, is such a powerful parable for us. We take that thing that is the hatred, the thing that is the separation, the thing that is the fear, and say, that belongs to you. What I'm holding is we are one, and there is no separation. Next slide. Einstein suggests that the most important question you can ever ask is, if is the universe a friendly place? And this goes right back to our first principle. What is the foundation of how we relate to the world? Is there one presence and one power? Is that power good? Is it seeking to call us to unfold, to be the highest and best self we can be? So here is his explanation for that statement. It's beautiful. If we decide that the universe is an unfriendly place, then we will use our technology, our scientific discoveries, and our natural resources to achieve safety and power by creating bigger walls to keep out the unfriendliness and bigger weapons to destroy all that which is unfriendly. And he says, I believe we are at a place where technology is powerful enough that we may either completely isolate or destroy ourselves in the process. And he continues, if we decide that the universe is neither friendly nor unfriendly, and that God is essentially playing dice with the universe, then we are simply victims to the random toss of the dice, and our lives have no real meaning or purpose. But if we decide the universe is a friendly place, then we will use our technology, our scientific discoveries, and our natural resources to create tools and models for understanding that universe. Because power and safety will come through understanding its workings and its motives. So if we have a belief, so that's the end of the Einstein quote. So here's my thoughts. If we have a belief that the universe is unfriendly, then we'll only continue to put power behind that belief, and our actions will change accordingly, and we will do what we can do to protect ourselves against others. But even worse, we will constantly be expecting bad news. But on the other hand, if we decide the universe is friendly, then we will only do things to help others. And the world will no doubt play out this belief, and good things will happen to us. And the more we look for the good, the more we will discover it. The point is, how we choose to view the world will ultimately define how we live our lives and what comes back to us. If we approach people with angry, frustrated attitudes and an expectation that they too will be angry, then guess what? It's highly likely they will pick up on that and fulfill our desire. But if we approach people with kindness and the expectation that they will be friendly, then they will put down the barriers and give back to us what we initially gave out. Next slide. So here's Arun Gandhi. I know that Unity of Richmond had him come as a speaker in a large venue not too long ago. Arun has such great teachings on all of this. He says that the media helps sustain a culture of violence. For instance, when a criminal is sentenced, the press says that the victim's family now has closure. He noted in an interview with Unity magazine, and we know Arun's grandfather was assassinated, he scoffs at the idea of closure. He says it just means we got revenge. That's not justice. That's the main reason we can't stop crime. Echoes of Sylvia Clute in there too. Instead of seeking revenge, society needs to address the reason the criminal committed the crime. All too often, people do not have techniques for managing their anger, he says. And he knows something about what he speaks. As an Indian youth raised in apartheid South Africa, he was the target of racial violence, not just from the whites, but also from blacks. It filled me with a lot of rage, he said. I wanted an eye for an eye. So his parents were concerned for his well-being, and they sent them to India to live with his grandfather when he was 12. So Arun says, he taught me how to channel anger. He saw anger as a good thing, as fuel for change, but he made me understand you must get control over it. His grandfather told him not to act on anger, but to write instead. he began keeping an anger journal, a learning tool he still recommends. To drive home the message about the different forms violence takes, the elder Gandhi instructed his grandson to draw a family tree of violence. The offspring would be physical violence and domestic violence. He would chart events that happened every day on this tree, showing disrespect, being wasteful, engaging in arguments, and see in what way his actions might have hurt someone. The tree posted in his bedroom proved to be a very visual learning tool. It filled up the whole wall, he said. His grandfather believed that such introspection on a personal level would help reduce violence on a larger level. And we know in Unity, that's the truth. The only way we can create world peace is to start taking responsibility for the peace we are living in the world. That's why his grandfather said, be the change you want to see. And the next slide. Nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. This is a King Book quote. It takes an amazing amount of knowing ourselves, of knowing what we stand for, to be able to go into the world and to live in such a courageous way that we will not let someone else's hatred, ugliness, words that pierce us to the heart, we will not let them take us down to the level of committing more violence, right? It's a very profound, difficult, and courageous way of life, but we've seen it lived over and over again. In Gandhi's examples in India, in King's examples with the whole civil rights movement, and also in our Wayshowers example, our next slide. Jesus modeled peace. He took a stand against the men stoning the woman caught in adultery. When Peter cut the ear off from the guard in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus healed it. Jesus never acted in a way that took life away or instructed his followers to do so. He asked people to forgive, to reconcile, and he modeled these behaviors. He lived up to the name foretold in Isaiah, the Prince of Peace. Have you realized that there are people in every nation of the earth who love all humanity? People who are seeking to bring peace, understanding, and oneness into the world in which we live. These people are the instruments of God wherever they are. Sometimes, as we think of world affairs, the outlook seems so dark, does it not? We sometimes see only the working of evil forces and the preparation of instruments of destruction. But God, who created this world and called it good, is still in charge. So our choice is, will we choose to align ourselves with this tremendous power of God? Shall we cooperate with God in bringing peace, love, and understanding into the world in which we live? It is up to us who live on this planet to learn the very first secret of life. that we are children of God. And cooperation is expressing this love, this oneness in the world. We are beings of love and light. We are united in an invisible bond of love for all humanity. We have faith in love's presence. We know the truth, that good shall be victorious and that nothing can defeat it. And I heard this beautiful story in another minister's sermon, and they were talking multiple years ago. There was a shooting at a Walmart somewhere in Texas. And one man's wife, there were like 20, a lot of people killed, 20 people killed. And one man who only he and his wife lived there, he got on social media and invited whoever would come be with him at his wife's celebration of life service. And they had to get a bigger venue. So many people responded. And one woman who lived 6 hours away saw the invitation and she knew she had to go be there. So she drove there. And on the day of the service, she waited in a humongously long line to get to go shake his hand or give him a hug, whatever she was going to do. And when she got to him, she grabbed his hand and she leaned into his ear and he said, everyone that is like the man who took your lives, there are thousands like us that are here with you, that are ready to express the good, the love that is radiating from our hearts. Next slide. And this is my last one. So we do not look for an external source to save us. We are looking for the power within us. And these are what these statements reflect. We are the ones we've been waiting for. These are lines from a song. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We can make a difference. Let's stand together for a change that we're all creating. So I'm going to invite us all to say these sentences together if they resonate within your heart. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We can make a difference. Let's stand together for a change that we're all creating. Oh, beloved ones, I behold the Christ in you. I behold the power that is at the core of our beings, that is seeking to express as love, as oneness, as unity in the world. And so it is. So now I'm going to invite us, just relax into our chair. And take a deep breath in, and we say, I breathe in love. On our exhale, I breathe out peace. Another one. So as we take this time to be still, I invite us to dive into that deep well of love within us. To feel that power, that vibration. To feel the peace that is the truth of our being when we are aligned with the source from which we came. I'm going to invite us to listen to love, to ask ourselves the question, what is ours to do to carry this vision of oneness right here, right now, where we are? Or if you have another question to give to Spirit, ask your question. Here we go, into the silence. And now as we come back together, feel the chair supporting you. Wiggle your feet, and as you are ready, open your eyes. We give thanks for the one power always available to comfort, to lead, and to guide us. Thank you, sweet Spirit. And as we leave this place, we will walk as the light of love and peace and oneness, and it will be shining from our beings in such a powerful way that people will see it in our eyes. They will see it in our actions. They will hear it in our words. And we will be so joyously creating a world where every life is valued. And so it is, and so it shall be. Hugs and love to each of you.
So I invite you to say our prosperity blessing together. Our ushers are here. Divine love expresses through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Yes. Thank you.
Blessed are the poorest ones, for heaven comes to where they are in you. In you. Blessed are the ones who mourn, for comfort comes to find them all in you. In you. Those who seek will be made right, they will be filled and lifted high in you. In you. Blessed are the merciful, for mercy will be shown to them by you. By you. Oh, blessed are the ones who call your name, and blessed are the ones you save. Oh, you bless the pure in heart. We will see our God. We will see our God. Those who long for making peace, they will be called the children of our God. Of our God. Blessed are the meek, for they receive the earth and all that's found in you. In you. Oh, blessed are the ones who call your name, and blessed are the ones you save. Oh, you bless the pure in heart. We will see our God. We will see our God.
If just to know you, if just to love you, what more can I ask for? What more can I ask for? If just to know you, if just to love you, what more can I ask for? What more can I ask for? If just to know you, if just to love you, what more can I ask for? What more can I ask for? If just to know you, if just to love you, what more can I ask for? What more can I ask for? Are the ones who call your name, and blessed are the ones you save. Oh, you bless the pure in heart. We will see our God. We will see our God. Oh, we will see our God. We will see our God.
There's the ushers. Hola, ¿qué pasa? Pura vida, that's right. All right, so together let's say, we give thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. And so it is. So are there any little people? Okay.
As the
Let's give a round of applause for all these children that showed up today. Yay! Such a joy to be able to have such a full class today. So anybody know what Thursday is? You okay? There we go. That was our lesson today. And it's not about frogs jumping and leaping, right? Did we hear that? Yeah. So yeah, we talked about having an extra day this month and this year, and that it'll happen again in how many years? 4 years, right? So we envisioned how old we're going to be in 4 years and what we would do with our extra 24 hours. And some of us wanted to share, and we invite you to do the same, because you might just be going through the calendar, but it might be good to take and be present and understand what you might do in 4 years, but they're going to share theirs. Do you want to go at all? All right, so I'll share some of our friends. So we are going to be ranging from ages, I think 14 was the oldest in 4 years, and the youngest, I think, is 9. So it's a pretty big jump. And some of us are going to be spending more time with our sisters. Some of us are going to be spending more time outside. Some are going to be doing more art, which I loved, of course. And some will be hanging out with their friends and playing video games and things like that. So we invite you to think about what you're going to be doing in 4 years with your extra 24 hours. Anything else? All good? All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, so let's say thank you to a few folks. I'd like to thank our wonderful speaker today, Reverend Pattie Bittner, who's supporting us in carrying the vision of love. I'd like to thank Heather Oram and our Unity Jam Band. For musically helping us carry the vision of love. Such a blessing every Sunday. And I'd like to thank everyone in the back that helped make our online services and our slides available, and Zooming Pattie in today. Yes.
And thank you, Mayor, for bringing your joy. Keeping us going today during the service. Keeping us on task.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right, and for everyone who makes this service possible, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for showing up here today, and all the people online for showing up here today to take part in this beautiful community. I am grateful. Yes. And so I also would like to remind you that the prayer chaplains will be at the front, including me after the service, if anybody would like to say a prayer. And if you don't have a prayer chaplain and you would like one, the wonderful Carol Lapierre can hook you up. And then there's the availability to ask questions for anybody who's interested in becoming a chaplain after the service. And together, let's say our prayer of protection. Stand, please, as you're able. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth